We're going to see a little bit more of that this year, as well as seeing how, what is the Soviet Union in 2003? Because, it didn't collapse in our version of reality. And what's it like to live there now?
For All Mankind is my favorite show by far on television. It's like looking through a window into an alternate dimension. We got some new cast members this season. First one I want to talk about is Miles Dale from the Working Class on Happy Valley. Can you guys talk a little bit about who Miles Dale is?
Miles is a former oil rig worker who lost his job because there was so much change in sort of the Earth economy with the development of nuclear fusion. So fossil fuels are sort of on the way out. And Miles in the first episode is looking for a way to keep his family alive, and he gets onto a job that takes him to the Martian base.
This is the fourth season, and we're 4 decades in exploring Ed Baldwin and Danielle Poole's relationship. What can fans expect this season from their relationship?
I think there's going to be a reckoning in terms of, where we last left them and where we're picking up. And there's a lot of unresolved feelings and things that they have to deal with, that they have not had their reckoning moment with each other. And I think, they're at a place certainly early on this season where there's a little jockeying for position. And I just love their relationship, going back to Hi Bob, where that started and seeing where they've come. I think that's been one of the most fascinating relationships that we've gone in their friendship and how that's evolved.
Ronald, can you talk about where Dev is after he feels betrayed by Karen from last season?
He's left the company and he's kind of isolated himself. He hasn't completely cut himself off from technological advancement and keeping his eye on things, but it was definitely like a huge blow and a major traumatic moment in his life. So when we picked Dev up in season 4, he's in a very different place than where he was in 3.
Alita and Kelly are kind of we get to see their relationship flourish this season. Maril, what can you tease about their relationship going forward?
I think they're both kind of lost souls starting into this season. I mean, obviously, Alita with the loss of Margot, or what she thinks was the loss of Margot in the beginning, or last season. And Kelly obviously has lost her mom, basically lost her dad since, he's been up on Mars, is a new mom. I think they're just lost souls and trying to figure out where they belong. And I love that they've teamed up this season and they're going to be on this journey together as 2 young women who have kind of pulled themselves up by the bootstraps in this, in this space sector. And I love how we see that relationship evolve, but they also, towards the end of the season, we see them come into their own and kind of finally find their place.
Ronald, we see Margot at a place that we've never seen her before this season. And it almost mirrors her mentor from the first season. Can you tease a little bit about what we see with Margot this season?
Last season, we left Margot in the Soviet Union. And so this season, we're going to pick up that storyline and we're going to sort of see her life, behind the Iron Curtain, and also get a peek into sort of the Soviet space program as well, which is something we have teased and sort of mentioned, but it mostly happened off camera. And we're going to see a little bit more of that this year, as well as seeing how, what is the Soviet Union in 2003? Because, it didn't collapse in our version of reality. And what's it like to live there now?
Can you guys share any insight into how the characters for All Mankind kind of evolved during the show? Which characters stuck to their original plan and which required them to kind of change course as the show organically unfolded?
Joel's character, Ed Baldwin is still, I'd say, is generally on the same path that we always sort of thought he was going to be. We were always going to challenge Ed every season and sort of put him through the ringer. There were certain cast members and characters we didn't anticipate leaving. Gordo and Tracy, we were not planning on killing in season 2. And that just sort of happened along the way. And it was an organic part of the story that we were developing. And so that was a big change. I don't think anybody was prepared for. And it felt like a great story to tell. It was very sad to see both the characters and the actors go, though.
You guys are making the best show on any streaming service there is. So thank you guys so much for your time. I love For All Mankind. Thank you guys. I appreciate your time.